Okay, I knew I'd lose track of the days. I think it's 45, 46 of 365 days to me. Really tired today. I got up early. I went to school and I pushed myself through it. I just was not. It was hard to be present and be there. And then I had a moment. My son came back for a couple days away, and I'd been with the dog, and then he and the dog walked out, and I had this rush of loneliness and sadness and this feeling of abandonment all through my body. And it's really just coming up to the surface. And it's just an example of how it's just a feeling, it's not real. Because less than 15 minutes later, he walks back in with the dog and he asks if I want to watch a show with him. And then the dog comes and kisses me and Tova. And yet it felt like they were leaving me, like they didn't love me. And it just made me realize that those feelings are not feelings based on reality in the present moment. They're triggers from some past emotion. I was also supposed to see my Italian lover last night. Well, I left it open because it was Valentine's Day, and I told him I was coming back from Mexico and was he available. He let me know he had to work and it would be late, if that was okay. And I didn't really answer him, and he wished me happy Valentine's Day. And so he made it aware that he knew what the day was. And at the end, I went out to dinner with somebody else. And at the end, I texted him sweet dreams, and he wanted me to invite him over. And I didn't. I never planned to. And I really got present to the fact that I'm not being honest. I'm not being true to myself. I'm just not being there. And I like him, but I think sexually we're just not a match. And I wanted that feeling with him, and I have that attraction, but he's not a giver, and he's not touching me the way I need to be touched. And I know I need to have a conversation with him, but I don't know, he hasn't responded to my text, so I think he's feeling a little put off. He's asked to see me like 4 or 5 times, and I keep having an excuse because I don't want to deal with it. And I have to ask myself, why don't I want to deal with it? What am I afraid of? And what came to me is, right now I have the fantasy that we have something, or that we could have something, and I'm afraid that once I confront what's there, and if he can't step up to meet me where I need him to, then the fantasy dies, and I'm left alone with no fantasy. But there are men pursuing me, and some other men from around the time I met him, so that's interesting. But I like him, except for, at least right now, I don't like having sex with him, and that's a problem. And I'm feeling very sad about that too. It's an ending before it actually even got to be anything, and then I find myself feeling a little more attached than I want, and I don't like that feeling of attachment and that feeling of being abandoned, and that's what's triggering me. Whew, that's what I'm dealing with. It's coming up. That feeling of being abandoned and being all alone, even though that's not what's happening. And I went to Cancun alone and I had a great time. I can do it. I can be alone. Whew, I need to heal that trauma. So that's what needs to happen now. And I gotta be brave. I'm such a freaking coward. I'm such a coward. I can't even have a conversation with a man that I like. I'm such a coward. I can't speak my truth. I can't ask and discover who he is because I'm so afraid of rejection and abandonment. When did I become that person? I'm going to do it. I'm going to have the conversation no matter what happens. If only to start to be brave and open up and allow myself to speak my truth and be vulnerable and be raw. And just choose to live that way instead of on the surface and pretending. Okay, I'm going to do it. And I'll tell you all what happened. All right, that's it for tonight. Good night.